you said it's difficult, right? It's hard. You do the badges to get the jobs.
Well, yeah, I thought after my playing career that I thought I'd have a chance of getting a decent job. So I took my coaching badges. Took me 7 years to do my coaching badges. And I was assistant at Blackburn with Graham Souness, assistant at Newcastle. Then I went assistant with Toshak with Wales.
Yeah.
And then I thought, right, I've got to have a go being a manager. And I applied for a few jobs that, like, never got a reply. I think I got one reply out of 15. So you've got to lower your sights, haven't you? And I ended up, I took the job at Wrexham in the conference, knowing that if I got it wrong, that's the end of me.
You're done.
There's no, like Wayne Rooney sliding down a few leagues and then, gradually.
Yeah.
If I don't get it right there, I'm done. So, sometimes you've just got to prove to some owners. John probably just needs to prove to an owner that he can manage a group of men. Whatever men they are.
Yeah.
Whatever level.
Yeah.
The minute they can see that he's in control of the group and he's managing the men. He can be a manager. He's been an assistant at Villa, hasn't he?
Yeah,
and where else was he? At Chelsea? Was he at Chelsea?
He's at Chelsea. I think he does a bit at Chelsea. I think he does a lot with the younger players there. But I think if he wanted to be a manager, he could be a manager.
Well, my advice to him is money talks, right? Whatever you say about romance in football, right?
Yeah.
In every league, normally the teams with the highest budget win the league.
Yeah.
Whatever level. Even Sunday League. Teams who get paid the players the most, they end up winning. So he's got to give himself a chance of doing well. All he has to do is do a little bit well and he'll get a job. So don't take a job where it's the bottom 6 budget in the league, like Wayne Rooney done at Plymouth, thinking that you can change it.
Yeah.
So Plymouth's budget was in the bottom 6. And he takes the job and he gets sacked. So at least take a job where you think you can do well, where you've got a chance of doing well. Like if you say it's the 10th highest budget in the league and the owner expects you to get in the playoffs, that's a good job. You think you go back yourself.
Yeah,
I can get him into the top 6.
It's stressful though, right? Being a manager, he's had the biggest highs that anyone could ever dream of, right? As being the captain of Chelsea and achieving what he's done.
Yeah.
To go in as a manager, it's a whole different level. It's a whole different ball game, right? And as
it takes over your life, Jamie.
Takes over your whole life.
15 years I done it. And you don't think of anything else. You go to bed in the night and you're thinking about tomorrow. I used to get up in the morning, I'd think, 75% of it's nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm getting up in the morning thinking, right, I've got to I have to speak to the groundsman, get the pitch right. I've got to speak to the girls in the canteen. They never had enough money to buy proper chicken last week. I'll have to get them some more money so they can buy chicken for the players to eat, because we can't eat rubbish food.
Yeah.
Then the youth team coach wants to have a word with me.
Yeah.
Then I've got to speak to a couple of players I've left out and a couple of players I'm going to play next week. Then we've got to watch the opposition play 4 or 5 games. Then I've got to... It's just that you win the game.
Yeah.
You win the game, it's relief. It's not elation.
Yeah.
It's relief that you're not going to feel as bad as you do when you lose.
Yeah.
And then you're on to the next game.
Yeah.
So they don't add up. The devastation of losing and the elation of winning don't add up.
Yeah.
It's just relief when you win.
You're not even really getting the highs from the wins.
No.
Because you're just like, right, I've got to think about next week.
And obviously, everyone's a manager, knows more than you, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
So when you're picking the team, not everyone agrees with you. And then you got to sometimes keep the place. And also, you got to speak to the owner. You got to speak to the press. You got to speak to the agents who are ringing you constantly. You think you got one eye on the short term, one eye on the long term future of the club. And once you're in it, there's no way out. There's 3 ways out, actually. You either get sacked, you resign, or you move on to a bigger club.
Yeah.
They come and poach you.
Yeah.
Those are the only 3 ways out. You can't resign, can you? Because that's giving up.
Yeah.
You fight in the sack every day, because 4 defeats, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Look at the Premier League now. A couple of defeats, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And the other way round is you walk into another club that's in a mess, and you start all over again.
Yeah.
Because it takes you 2 or 3 years to get the team right. So you walk into a club that really is in a shambles.
And people like John Terry, he's done well for himself, right? He's living the dream. He's got a great family. You know, as he said, he's playing golf, he's playing paddle. You know, sometimes you look at it and go, do I really want to put my life in so much stress for, as you say, you know,
it's all on
getting
you
demoralised every week?
And
unless, I guess, you're going in at, you know, Chelsea.
If it's in your blood, it's in your blood. If you really want to do it.
Yeah.
If you really think you can do it.
I've actually got a lot of respect for people like Lampard. Do you know what I mean? Like, who's multi-millionaire. You know, he's achieved everything in football. But he still wants to go and graft. He still wants to go out on the pitch every day, getting the best out of players.
Well, you've done it for a bit.
Mate, I did. But it was non-league level. It was different, you know, different level. I really enjoyed coaching. I loved being assistant manager. I did. I thought it was great. There wasn't as much pressure, you know, on your shoulders. You wasn't having to deal with what you say, all the other things. You could just still be a little bit of part of the lads. You can have a laugh with them. You know, you're not having to dig them out, but you're trying to help them more than, you know, leaving them out. But when I become the manager, mate, it was
you know when things
stress.
Like the players test you every day. Like you, for example, tested me every day.
Did
remember I said, yeah. You know, remember I said
was I that bad?
No. I said to you, where's your best position? You went anywhere. I can play anywhere.
So, I remember that conversation. Yeah. That was the first day.
Yeah, but
and you put me on the bench.
Did I?
Yeah, you benched me the first game.
Should have done it more often. I'd have still been there now. But, you know, you think of things that come up and you don't expect them to come up. El Hadj Diouf at Doncaster, right? I've got El Hadj Diouf playing for me. Yeah. He's the best player, right?
Yeah, of course.
Great player. Great, great player. Strong as an ox. He's like Salah. You know when you roll the ball up the line?
Yeah.
He holds the full back off. He gets fouls. He causes havoc every week.
Yeah.
He's nearly fighting every week. I like him. He's a likeable rogue, right? So he comes in to see me one day and he goes, this is the type of thing that jumps out at you. Gaffer, I've got to go back to Senegal. There's an election on and the president, unless the Diouf is sat next to him, is going to lose the election. The Diouf, he said. I went, what do you mean? He goes, well, he's my friend, and if he needs the Diouf at the side of him, and he'll win the election. So I'm thinking he's winding me up here. Right. So he goes, yeah, he said, Gaffer, if I don't go back and he loses the election, Senegal will crumble. I said, Diouf, we've got a game Saturday. It's Monday. We got a game Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll be back by Monday. I'll be back. He said, Gaffer, honestly, Senegal will crumble. If the Diouf's not there, Senegal will crumble. I was half laughing, right? And I went, right, I tell you what, come back Thursday, but don't tell anyone. Don't tell any of the players.
Yeah.
Go, don't let me down. Make sure you're back Thursday.
Yeah.
So we sat in the canteen, and somebody's put like Al Jazeera TV on. You know, like it's on. They're flicking through the channels in the lads, and one of the lads went, "Look, it's Diouf. He's got like one of them white gowns on, and he sat on the top table with the president. He was telling me the truth." He was sat there. The Diouf, he's like the king of Senegal.
Did he come back?
He come back, yeah.
Did he play on the Saturday?
All the lads are going. I said, they were asking me, "Where's Diouf?" I said, "He's not well. He's not well. I don't think he's very
not well.
He's on the telly."
That's a good story, Dino. I love it. I'm going to try. You know what? I'm going to try and get a few more out of him because Dino's been a gaffer. Lad. He's a good, yeah, and you've been around it, so I'm actually going to try and squeeze a few more stories out of you.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.